Today we will discuss about the introduction of the peritoneum. It is the large serous membrane. We have here remove the anti-abdominal wall, remove the skin. This is the anti-abdominal wall. We reflect it. This is the peritoneum. Here you can see this is the peritoneum. So it is the large serous membrane lining to the abdominal cavity. So many organs which is invaginated inside the mainly the gastrointestinal system which is invaginated inside the peritoneal cavity, and it lead to there is some organs becomes inside the peritoneum which is covered by the peritoneum, and some of the organs which is not covered by the peritoneum. So the organ which are covered by the peritoneum, it is called the intraperitoneal, like liver, stomach, are the liver, stomach. Here on the left side there is a spleen, even small intestine, mainly jejunum and ileum are the intraperitoneal organ. Some of the organs which is fetal life, during the fetal life, which is intraperitoneal, but after the development of the all the gastrointestinal system, gastrointestinal organs, it lead to there is some organ which is goes posteriorly, and only the it lead to there is a zygosis, and only the anterior layer of the anterior layer organ which is only covered by the anterior layer of the peritoneum, then it is called the secondary retroperitoneal organ. And some of the organ directly which is behind to the peritoneum, like the great vessels, inferior vena cava and inferior vena cava, kidney, aorta are the primary retroperitoneal organ, and secondary retroperitoneal organ are the, this is the ascending colon, this is the ascending colon. On the right side there is a descending colon, and here there is a, we have not dissected, but inside there is a pancreas, first part of the duodenum are the secondary retroperitoneal organs. So the peritoneum which lying to the inner side of the anti-abdominal wall, this is the anti-abdominal wall, and this is the peritoneum lying inner side of the anti-abdominal wall, it is called the parietal peritoneum. And the peritoneum which lying to the abdominal organ, it is called the visceral peritoneum. So the whatever the peritoneum which is lying inner to the abdominal wall, it is innervated by the whatever the nerve and blood vessels innervated to the anti-abdominal muscles and wall, it is also innervated to the same blood supply and nerve supply to the parietal peritoneum, and it is a pain sensitive. And whatever the nerve and vessels which is innervated to the organs itself, like one example here the liver which is covered by the peritoneum. So visceral peritoneum, which is here there is a presence of the visceral peritoneum, but it is very adherent to the organ, so it is difficult to detach it. Here it is difficult to detach it, but it is the attached to the, it is attached to the anterior wall of the, it is attached to the whole of the organ, it is the visceral peritoneum. So whatever the nerve innervate to the liver, it is also supplies to the same visceral peritoneum, and it is a nociceptive, and mainly it is a, if you cut then there is a no pain, but if you stretch this there is a pain which is occur. So the parietal peritoneum also developed from the somatopleuric intraembryonic mesoderm, so the same nerve supply to the whatever supplies to the muscles of the anti-abdominal wall, and visceral peritoneum which is developed from the splanchnopluric intraembryonic mesoderm. So whatever the nerve and vessels innervate to the vessels organs are the same which is innervate to the vessels of the organs of the organ which is innervated by the same visceral nerves and vessels innervate to the same to the organ. We have already discussed the intraperitoneal, secondary retroperitoneal, and another is the primary retroperitoneal organs. Now today we will discuss about the some fold of the peritoneum, like here the fold which is attached to the stomach, it is called the omentum, while this is the greater omentum, which is a fold on the mainly large fold over the anti-abdominal wall after reflecting to the peritoneum. It is a greater omentum, and this is the lesser omentum. So the fold which is attached to the stomach, it is called the omentum. So this is the lesser omentum. Stomach to the liver, it is a lesser omentum, and this is the stomach to the transverse colon. Here you can see this is the transverse colon. It is the greater omentum. Some fold which is covering to the small intestine, it is called the mesentery. Entron means small intestine. Mees, you have to initially you have to add the mees. So it is the mesentery. It is the covering of the peritoneal fold to the small intestine. It is called the mesentery. Some places the peritoneal fold, which makes the double fold of the peritoneum. Here you can see this is a falciform ligament. Here I will also show you same thing. It is a falciform ligament, double fold of the peritoneum. The fold between the two organs, like according to the stomach and spleen, then the fold of the peritoneum which is connecting stomach and spleen, it is called the gastrosplenic ligament. Some places there is a spleen and the left kidney, it is called the lienorenal ligament. So double fold of the peritoneum. Some places there is a fold which is attached over the, it is according to the shape, it is called the right triangular because it is the right lobe, so it is the right triangular ligament. So according to the, some places according to the shape, some places according to the organs which are connected, the fold of the peritoneum which is given the name. Now we will discuss about the dorsal development. There are three parts of the developmentally and it is connected by the dorsal mesogastrium. There are three parts the GIT which is developed: foregut, midgut and hindgut. The foregut which gives the development of the esophagus. Here there is a esophagus and it becomes continuous as a stomach, and it becomes stomach, it continues as a duodenum. Duodenum has a four part. This is the first part. Second part which is vertical, third part which is horizontal, and fourth part again on the left side. So up to the second part of the duodenum, at this level there is an opening of the bile duct on the posterior and medial aspect. It is the development for the from the foregut. So the second part of the duodenum up to the opening of bile duct, first part of the duodenum, stomach and esophagus, even offshoot like liver, spleen and pancreas are the liver and pancreas are the derivative of the foreguts, and spleen also the derivative of the foreguts. The derivative of the midguts are the below the opening of the bile duct, second part, third part and fourth part of the duodenum, jejunum, ileum, and ileum open inside the cecum, and then appendix. Here you can see this is the appendix. Then cecum, ascending colon, and this is the transverse colon up to the right two-third part. Right two-third part, it is the transverse colon. It is developed from the derivative of the midgut. Derivative of the foregut, which is blood supply by the branches of the celiac trunk. Derivative of the midgut, which is branches from the superior mesenteric artery, and derivative of the hindgut, lateral one-third of the transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, then rectum and anal canal up to the pectinate line. It is the derivative of the hindgut, and it is blood supplied by the branches of the inferior mesenteric artery. So celiac trunk, which gives the branches to the derivative of foregut, superior mesenteric, it gives the branches to the derivative of midgut, and inferior mesenteric, it gives the derivative of the hindgut. All three branches are the anterior branches of the abdominal aorta. So these are the about to the development, and also the basically what happened. Basically developmentally, whole of the GIT which is suspended by the dorsal mesogastrium. But you have to remember there is a foregut, the portions of the foregut up to the second part of the duodenum, which is also suspended by the anti-abdominal wall by the ventral mesogastrium. The ventral mesogastrium, which is absent inside the midgut and hindgut. Only dorsal mesogastrium, which is throughout present inside the foregut, midgut and hindgut. Ventral mesogastrium, which is absent inside the hindgut and midgut, only present inside the foregut. Now, what happened inside the ventral mesogastrium? Between the intermediate part, there is a development. Ventral mesogastrium, the middle part, it develops the liver, and it is also developed from the septum transversum. So, liver developed from septum transversum as well as mesogastrium, both develop, and it divides the ventral mesogastrium into the two parts, anterior part and posterior part. Anterior part, which develops it gives the falciform ligament, it gives the superior and inferior coronary ligament, it gives the left triangular, right triangular ligament, and dorsal part of the ventral mesogastrium, which makes the lesser omentum, while the dorsal part of the dorsal mesogastrium of the foregut, the cranial part, here there is a development of the spleen, and it divides again into the cranial part, divide into the two part. Between the spleen and stomach, it makes the gastrosplenic ligament, and posterior to the spleen and abdominal wall, it makes the lienorenal ligament. And dorsal part of the lower part, caudal part of the dorsal mesogastrium of the foregut, which enormously enlarged, and it makes the greater omentum, while the dorsal mesogastrium of the midgut, it develops the mesentery, and dorsal mesogastrium of the hindgut, which develops the part of the mesocolon and sigmoid colon, which is developed from this part. So I will show you here. Here you can see this is the liver, which ventral mesogastrium, which divide into the two part. Anterior to the liver, it develops the falciform ligament, it develops the ligamentum teres. Here it develops the upper superior layer of the coronary ligament, inferior layer of the coronary ligament, right triangular ligament. On the left side, it makes the left triangular ligament. So ventral part of the ventral mesogastrium, which develops, these are the ligament. Dorsal part of the ventral mesogastrium, which develops the lesser omentum, and the dorsal part of the dorsal mesogastrium of the foregut, which caudal part, which develop the greater omentum. This is a greater omentum, and the cranial part, which gives it develops the ligament fold of the peritoneum between the stomach and spleen. It is called the gastrosplenic ligament, and posteriorly it forms the lienorenal ligament. Posteriorly it forms the lienorenal ligament, and the dorsal mesogastrium of the derivative of the midgut, which mainly develops the mesentery, and the hindgut, which develops the part of the transverse colon and sigmoid colon, which develops. It is a derivative of the mesogastrium. So today we will discuss about the difference about the male and female peritoneal cavity. Female peritoneal cavity have a open peritoneal cavity because through the uterus, the fallopian tube, which is open inside the open, and it is communicated with the exterior through the uterine tube. And you have to remember the whole of the peritoneum, mainly the visceral peritoneum, which is lined by the mesothelium, but inside the ovary, which is lined by the cuboidal epithelium, and fimbria of the uterine tube, which is lined by the columnar epithelium. So male it is the closed peritoneal cavity, but inside the female it is the open. It is the peritoneal cavity which is communicate exterior through the uterine tube. So this is the difference between the male and female. Peritoneum has a now we will discuss about the function. It has a two layer, visceral and parietal. Visceral, which is fibrous in nature, and it is attached to the anti-abdominal wall and easily stripped, and the visceral layer, which is the line by the mesothelium, which secretes the fluid, and it gives this fluid which gives the easy movement. It prevents the frictions of the viscera. It gives the provides the slippery surface of the movement of the viscera. So easily movement of the viscera which is available. Another thing, it is the protection of the viscera by the phagocytic cell present into the normal peritoneal fluid, and it is it gives the provide the cellular as well as humoral immunological defense mechanism. So this greater omentum has a power to seal the infection anywhere inside the abdominal cavity. It goes towards the wherever infection, like the peptic ulcer perforation. It prevents the for the temporary, it lead to sealing. Even appendicitis, it goes towards that side and seal the infection. So the greater omentum, it is called the policeman of the abdomen. So another thing, peritoneal, which is the mesothelium, another function, it is the absorption and dialysis. It is the mesothelium act as a semi-permeable membrane which line to the visceral pleura. So water and crystalloid are absorbed directly into the lymphatics and aid into the helpful into the phagocytosis. So greater absorptive power of the upper abdomen, mainly the subphrenic area just below to the liver. This area, it has a pelvic area. Due to the subphrenic area, because it is the respiratory movement which aids the absorption, helpful into the absorption. Peritoneal cavity also used for the helpful for the dialytic purpose, dialysis purpose, which is useful, and it has a healing power and adhesion. So wherever infection, but one disadvantage is that there is a healing power, the macrophage, which is converted into the fibroblast, and it has a capacity to adhesion, and sometimes there is a obstruction of the organ. And the last function, it is the storage of the fat. All these are the function of the peritoneum. Now we will discuss about the greater omentum. Greater omentum, it is the fold of the peritoneum which hang from the greater curvature of the stomach. Greater curvature of the stomach, and it is the large fold of the peritoneum which hang down from the greater curvature of the stomach like a apron and cover to the small intestine, loop of the intestine, and up to the transverse colon. It up to the transverse colon. It is made up of 4 layers. I will show you. It is actually the continuations of the lesser omentum as a 2-layer anterior layer which is continuous cover with the anterior layer of the stomach, and posterior layer which is continuous as a posterior layer of the stomach. These 2 anterior and posterior layer of the greater omentum, this is the anterior layer and this is the posterior layer, which goes downwards, and after some times it folded posteriorly. So the first layer, which becomes the 4th layer, and second layer becomes the 3rd layer. So the first and 4th layer are the derivative of the greater sac, while the second and 3rd layer in between there is a potential space. It is called the lesser sac. It is called the lesser sac. So it is the derivative of the lesser sac. So mainly it store the fat. It store the fat, and we already discussed it as a first layer becomes the 4th layer and second layer becomes the 3rd layers, and the second and 3rd layer just below to the stomach, it is nearly fused by the zygosis. Only also you have to remember that between the first 2 layers of the greater omentum, there is this is the right side and this is the left side. It contains the right right gastroepiploic artery and left gastroepiploic artery. It is lies inside the first two layers. So here this is the right gastroepiploic, and here there is a left gastroepiploic artery which contained inside the first two layer of the greater omentum. Here you can see this is the stomach, and this is a greater omentum posterior layer which is covered to the posterior inferior surface of the stomach, and anterior layer which covers to the anterior superior surface of the stomach, and then it becomes continuous as a greater omentum. So this first layer of the greater omentum, it becomes continuous as a fourth layer of the greater omentum, and it reaches up to the posterior abdominal wall. This is the diagram of the fetal life up to the adolescence, fetal to the adolescence up to the 15 to 16 years of the age, and this is the diagram after the 16 years of the age. So fourth layer which is goes up to the posterior abdominal wall, and then it becomes continuous to the posterior abdominal wall, and it continues as a transverse mesocolon. This is the transverse mesocolon, and it is goes up to the, this is the upper layer of the transverse colon, and this is the lower layer of the transverse colon. So now what happens after the adolescence life, age of the 14 to 15 years, the peritoneum, which is here you can see this is a second and third layer which is fused, and there is a zygosis which is occur. Only the small portions below to the stomach up to the large intestine which is open, it is a lesser sac. So it is the lesser sac. Now another thing what happened, this is the fourth layer, and this is the first layer of the transverse mesocolon, fourth layer of the greater omentum, and first layer or anterior layer of the transverse mesocolon which is fused, and it is disappear. Both layer which is fused and disappear. So the fourth layer of the lower part of the fourth layer of the greater omentum directly covered to the inferiorly and posteriorly it covers to the transverse colon, and it goes to the posterior abdominal wall. Here the first layer of the transverse mesocolon or superior layer of the transverse mesocolon, and fourth layer of the greater omentum which is disappear, and it is called the zygosis. So the third layer which is goes directly to the anterior border of the body of the pancreas, and here the transverse mesocolon posterior layer, it is called the transverse colon. This both the layer it is called the transverse colon when after the zygosis which is occurs. So this is about to the zygosis of the fold of the greater omentum and the fold between the transverse colon and greater omentum. So we already discussed on the just below to the stomach, it contains the first two layer of the greater omentum contains the right gastroepiploic artery and left gastroepiploic artery. Main function of the greater omentum, it is called the policeman of the abdomen because it seals the infection. Wherever there is an infection, it moves towards that, and so that's why it is called the policeman of the abdomen. Second thing, there is a presence of the milky spot inside the greater omentum, and it protects the peritoneal cavity against the infection of the presence of the macrophage inside, and this collection of the macrophage which makes the small dense patchy area, it is you can see by your eyes this kind, it is called the milky spot. It is called the milky spot. So it is helpful for to prevent the protect the peritoneal cavity against the infection. So this is about to the introduction and greater omentum of the peritoneum. Hope you enjoy the lecture and demo. Thank you.